So picture this. You've got like two commanders living inside your head.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Right. So the first commander is the one who wants to read 50 books a year, get in amazing shape, and, save money for the future.
The ideal version of you.
Exactly. But then there's the second commander, and this one just wants to eat sweets, hide under a heavy blanket, and just doom scroll on the phone all day.
I think we all know Commander number 2 very well.
We really do. And the statistics actually back this up. Like, 91% of New Year's resolutions fail, which means that second commander almost always wins.
It's a pretty staggering failure rate, honestly.
It is. Why do our good intentions just completely fall apart? Why do those expensive running shoes just sit there collecting dust?
That is the million-dollar question.
Well, today we are doing a deep dive into the data to answer exactly that. Welcome, everyone. Today we are pulling from some of the top behavioral scientists in the world, people like James Clear, BJ Fogg, and Charles Duhigg.
Some absolute heavyweights in habit formation.
For sure. And our mission today is to decode the actual science, strip away all that annoying academic jargon, and basically build a foolproof guide to rewiring your daily life without relying on willpower.
Which is such an important point to start with. I really want to tell the listener right off the bat that, failing at your goals is not a personal flaw.
It feels like one, though.
It totally does, but it's actually a design flaw. We have this huge misconception that we just need more willpower or discipline to change. But scientifically speaking, willpower is a myth.
A myth, really?
Yeah, or at least it's a highly limited resource that dries up super fast. I mean, nearly half of everything you do every single day isn't driven by conscious choice at all. It runs on pure autopilot. So you want to change, you got to learn how to hack that autopilot.
Okay, if this autopilot system is really that powerful, I want to know how it works. Like, why does it always hijack our good intentions?
Well, it all comes down to the habit loop, which operates in 3 steps. You have your cue, the routine, and the reward.
Cue, routine, reward. Got it.
Right. So when you repeat this loop enough times, your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that handles logic and decision-making, it basically realizes that processing this same stuff every day is just a massive waste of energy.
So it just shuts down.
Sort of.
No.
It hands the steering wheel over to a deeper part of the brain called the basal ganglia. And this area is like a hard drive for your instincts. Once a habit gets saved there, the basal ganglia takes over completely to save mental energy.
Oh, wow. Okay, that actually reminds me of driving home from work. Like, imagine you are stuck in horrible traffic on Sukhumvit Road.
Oh, the absolute worst.
Right. You've been working massive OT. You are totally exhausted, just staring blankly at the red taillights for an hour. And then suddenly, you're pulling into your driveway at home.
And you have zero memory of the drive.
Exactly. You don't remember hitting the brakes or turning the steering wheel for the last 10 kilometers. Your logical brain just powered down and let the basal ganglia drive the car.
That is the most perfect neurological analogy, honestly. Your brain absolutely loves routine because it doesn't have to burn calories making new decisions every single second.
But wait, if it's just this simple 3-step loop cue, routine, reward, why do we constantly fail when we try to build good habits? It sounds so straightforward.
We fail because we put all our focus in the wrong place. When someone tries to get fit or learn a language, they obsess over step 2, the routine.
Which is the hardest part.
Exactly. It's the sweaty, tiring part. And they completely ignore the cue and the reward, which just sets them up for failure.
So how do we fix it?
Well, BJ Fogg created a really brilliant fix called the behavior equation. It's B equals MAP. So behavior happens when motivation, ability, and a prompt all converge at the exact same second.
Motivation, ability, prompt.
Right. And the biggest trap people fall into is relying on motivation. Motivation is it's basically the most unreliable friend you have.
Okay, I got to push back on that a little bit. What's wrong with motivation? Like, for me, if I watch a really inspiring video or see someone crushing it online, my motivation spikes. I get super pumped up, and I want to go run 10 kilometers or clean my whole house right then and there.
Oh, I totally get that. And in that specific second, your motivation is completely off the charts.
Yeah.
But motivation is just an emotional wave. It crashes.
True.
Think about a normal day. Say you have to work OT until 8 at night. Your boss is constantly making you revise a presentation. You battle that awful traffic back to your apartment, and your whole body just aches.
Ugh, I'm getting stressed just thinking about it.
Right. So you collapse onto your sofa. All that morning motivation is completely gone. Poof. So now, when your tired brain has to choose between changing into gym clothes for a sweaty run or just lying there scrolling through funny videos on your phone, What do you think it's going to choose?
Oh, it's going to choose the scrolling. 100%. No one has the energy to run after a day like that.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll ask on behalf of the listener then. If motivation is total garbage, how do I actually peel myself off the couch when I'm just dead tired? There's got to be a trick.
The trick is the second part of the equation, ability. You use the principle of tiny habits. You have to shrink the new behavior down so much that it requires basically zero physical or mental ability.
Shrink it? Like how tiny are we talking?
Like almost embarrassingly tiny. Let's say your goal is to read more self-improvement books. Instead of saying you'll read a whole chapter after a grueling day of OT, which feels like climbing a mountain.
Yeah, never going to happen.
Exactly. Your new goal is to read one single line. That's it. Just one line.
Just one line.
Yep. Or if you want to exercise, do not commit to a massive workout. Commit to doing exactly one push-up, or even just tying your running shoes. You have to lower the bar so much that even on your absolute worst day, you can't make an excuse.
Okay, to be totally honest, that sounds like I'm just tricking myself. Like reading one line or doing a single push-up, that's not going to do anything. I'm not going to build any muscle from one push-up.
It's a super valid point, but here is the science behind it. The goal of a tiny habit isn't to get physical results right away. You are trying to build a neural pathway in the basal ganglia.
Oh, so it's a brain thing, not a muscle thing.
Exactly. The hardest part for the brain is just the friction of starting. When the goal is incredibly low, your brain doesn't resist. And once you get past that friction and read the first line, you're probably going to read a second or third line anyway.
Because I'm already sitting there with the book open.
Right. If you're down on the floor for one push-up, you'll probably do a few more. But the absolute rule is that your minimum requirement must stay at 1, so you never break the streak.
Okay, I see. You're basically sneaking past the brain's laziness filter. Okay. So now the routine is so easy I could do it in my sleep. But I still have to remember to actually do it, right? Because vague intentions like, oh, I'll do it when I have free time, those just never work out.
They never do. And that is where the third element comes in, the prompt, or what some call habit stacking. You can't rely on your memory. You have to anchor this new, tiny behavior to an existing, rock-solid daily habit.
So it's kind of like attaching a tiny, lightweight train car to this massive locomotive that's already flying down the tracks at full speed.
That is a brilliant way to picture it. The massive locomotive is the stuff you already do every single day without thinking.
Like what? What's a good example for, a typical office worker?
Think about things you never skip. Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I will write one single sentence in my journal.
Oh, I like that.
Or for office syndrome, you could say, after I shut down my work laptop for the day, I will close my eyes and take 3 deep breaths. You basically program an if-then statement into your brain.
I really love the laptop shutdown one. That fits so perfectly into a stressful workday. Just a tiny reset. So, okay, we've got a solid anchor, the cue. We've got a ridiculously easy routine, so the loop is complete, right? We're good to go.
Nope, not yet. And this is actually the biggest secret of this whole deep dive. This is why fitness habits usually die after like 3 weeks. Their loop is completely missing the reward.
Wait, isn't getting healthier or saving up a bunch of money, isn't that the reward?
Those are long-term results.
Yeah.
But the brain's habit encoding machinery, specifically the dopamine system, it only responds to immediate rewards, like right in that exact second.
So it can't wait a month to see the scale drop?
No way. It takes way too long for the brain to connect the behavior to the positive feeling. It just doesn't register that the push-up was worth the effort.
Well, if I can't wait a month for weight loss, how do I reward myself right now? Like, do I do my one push-up and then instantly eat a piece of cake? Because that feels counterproductive.
Yeah, please don't do that. Your health goals would be ruined. The reward doesn't have to be physical. It needs to be an immediate emotional reaction. Fogg calls this celebration.
Celebration? Like a party?
Sort of, but just for yourself. The exact second you finish your one push-up, you have to deliberately generate a positive emotion. You smile really big, you do a little fist pump, or you just whisper, yes.
Okay, I'll be honest. If I do one single push-up, stand up, look in the mirror, and yell, yes, I'm going to feel completely unhinged. Like that sounds so silly and forced.
It's going to feel incredibly awkward at first, I promise you. But there is hard science here. That burst of positive emotion instantly releases dopamine. And dopamine acts like super glue for your basal ganglia. It wires the habit into your brain in seconds.
Wait, really? Just from feeling good for a second?
Yep. Think about gamification on your phone. When you finish a language lesson or keep a streak alive, the app plays a happy sound. Confetti drops on the screen, right?
Yeah, the little animations.
That is instant, manufactured celebration. It hacks your dopamine system so you feel successful right away, which makes you want to come back tomorrow. You're just doing that for yourself.
That makes total sense when you put it like that. It's not just doing it over and over. It's the feeling of immediate success that locks it in. So if we do all this perfectly, we use an anchor, a tiny action, and we celebrate instantly, how long is this going to take? Because everyone always says 21 days to build a habit.
I get to bust a major myth today. The 21-day rule is completely made up. Actual research shows it takes an average of 66 days to make a habit automatic. And for really tough ones, it can take up to 254 days.
66 days. That is a marathon. What if I'm doing great and then on day 31 I get the flu and can't get out of bed? Does my streak just die and I'm back to day 1? Because that perfectionism is exactly why people quit.
Exactly. The all-or-nothing trap is deadly. And that's why you need the 2-day rule or the minimum upgrade system.
Yeah, how does that work?
To survive that 66-day marathon, you just fall back on your lazy day minimum. So if you're sick, you literally just do your 1 push-up. Or you just put your running shoes on and take them off.
And that counts.
It absolutely counts. It keeps the neural pathway active. On good days, you upgrade and do a full workout. But the tiny minimum is all that's legally required by your brain to keep the habit alive.
That is so forgiving, but also incredibly smart. You never break the chain.
All right, we are wrapping up this deep dive, so let me quickly summarize the 3 actionable takeaways you can try tomorrow morning.
Perfect. Let's hear them.
Number 1, find your anchor. Pick something you already do every single day without fail, like turning on the coffee maker, and use it as your trigger. Number 2, make it ridiculously tiny. Shrink the new habit until it's so small it feels almost embarrassing, like flossing just 1 tooth.
Yep. The tinier, the better.
And number 3, the most important one, celebrate instantly. The very second you finish that tiny habit, give yourself a fist pump, smile, and lock in that dopamine.
Great summary. And I'd love to leave the listener with one final thought from James Clear on this.
Please do. Ultimately, building a habit isn't just about the action itself. It's about your identity. Every time you do that 1 push-up, you're not just exercising. You're casting a vote for the type of person you are becoming.
Wow.
Yeah, you're proving to yourself that you are someone who shows up, who doesn't quit, even on the tough days.
That is so powerful. It's not just a routine. It's a vote for your future self.
Exactly.
Well, before you all go, I want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. Since we now know that our basal ganglia can be so easily hacked by cues and instant dopamine rewards, do you think big tech and social media companies are using this exact behavior equation against us?
Oh, that's a whole other deep dive right there.
Right. Every time you pick up your phone, are you actually in control of your habits, or is someone else controlling you? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. I highly encourage you to test out a tiny habit tomorrow morning. Catch you next time.